All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house, and welcome back to the channel. Today I got something very interesting. Gotta share my impressions with you about this Astrum First Production Magna Cut that I've got right over here. It is first production, so it means it's the first time that this model makes it to the production tier of the Shirogorov. So far, we've just seen a full custom and the custom division, as well as the sprint run, and this guy is the first iteration with the production lineup. It's got some Magna Cut blade. It's beautiful, sleek, and we're gonna check out the measurements right now. This is gonna be like, look at this, 10.1. I would say 10 centimeters and 12 and a half for the handle and 22 and a half overall length. So this is a very interesting thing to notice because, for example, if I just put up here an F3 and I just line them up, you would see that the blade, of course, is a little bit longer on the Astrum because the blade is longer on the Astrum. But if you close them like that and you measure them from, I think this might be a tiny bit smaller, just by a hint. I mean, it's pretty much the same. Let's say it's the same handle, but definitely it is packing more blade if you go from just a little bit by millimeters, but still you get more blade in the same package, and this is pretty cool. This is a Stellaris, so stellar, so that's the size below, I would say, and this would be the neon, which would be the smaller of the smallest size of the Shirogorov lineup, which you get to see right next to that. So you have an idea of the all sizing. I'm just gonna throw in these two bad boys because you got to see a couple of Sebenza 21s, small and large, next to this first production Astrum FP. It has some pretty subtle nuances on the frame. You should see on the edges the blue shimmering and creating this pretty cool contrast. It has a dark gray kind of anodization going on, and it's beautifully and subtly anodized with this blue hue. Look at that pops out right in the edges of the milling. You get 5 holes, not holes, but I mean 5 little milled pockets on the side and also at the hand to add a little bit more grip. Look at this extended spacer, pretty much in the same kind of way they stuffed a bunch of blade into the neon doing an extender spacer. That's how they replicated that trick with the Astrum. Like, just, you see, the tip of the blade just extends over the length of the handle, therefore allowing match longer blade packed into a smaller handle. Pretty cool. Titanium handle. Look at the milling. It's not as 3D as the custom division. Of course, this portion is completely flat. This milling goes inside, internally, kind of in a concave pocket on one side only. You see, it's kind of deep right over here, and this is just like along the lines of the knife. There's like a pretty interesting design detail going on over here. I like, of course, the look of this cat on the blade, which is handmade. Look at the swedge, which starts from that point and just goes down to the tip of this blade. Look at that. Magna Cut stonewashed, finely stonewashed blade. It's an inset lock. The inset lock sports like an apron, so you don't get your fingers snagged into this little space right over here, and protects the space in between the lock and the handle from the entrance of dirt or unwanted particles. So that's pretty neat. You have a floating spacer, which is in titanium. Kind of looks like it's floating, but it's actually resting on the inside of the knife. You get a very nice and sharp jimping for the flipper tab, like that. You can kind of, I mean, it's not like super pleasant to do like a push button like that because it's pointy, so you're more like, more in for a light switch, but still kind of works a little bit less perfectly with the push button, and I'm just gonna do something like that. So that's my preferred way to deploy this thing. Nice jimping. Not super effective, but I like it. It's not gonna shred your fingers. You get a little space right over here to sharpen the knife. Be careful and not to hit the plunge. You have a nice profile, high grounds, very, very long blade, a little bit of belly, I would say 30%, and straight edge up to the sharpening choil, which kind of give you like a, not really a finger choil, but I would say this would be the preferred handling method. Lanyard hole option right over here, of course, integrated into the backspace, so that's the best. Hidden hardware for the pocket clip, not reversible, it's just gonna stay there. Nice contrast with the hardware, the lock, you know, and of course the blade. It creates this two-tone monochrome, super sleek gentleman's knife, I have to say. I love it. It's design-wise is great. I mean, look at this little detail here of the raised faux pivot collar going on over here. With no milling, the stops just a little bit before. And the micro milling that is in this portion over here. Look at this. That's pretty cool. That's how the milling ends into the titanium. I mean, very, very little subtle details. The logo right over here. The micro milling going on into this sculpted pocket. Super cool. That's a detail that you don't actually appreciate like this, but look at this, boom, it's right there. Very, very nice. And if you look, where is it? Look at this. The inside of the lanyard space, let's say, it's also micro milled. Gorgeous. I believe the inside of the pocket clip also has been taken care of. What else to say? There's no stainless steel lock face insert because the lock bar is pretty thin to allocate that, but you get extensive internal milling in this thing going on, which are going to reduce the weight considerably. And if you put this fella on a scale, how much you think is gonna weigh? Let's see. We have 3.68 ounces, not too shabby, right? Captive hardware for the body, captive hardware for the pivot. It's a nice addition. You get multi-roller bearing, rock and rolling, a titanium backspacer. You get all the things that you want, guys. This is a Magna Cut blade, which surprisingly is the same that you find on the custom division. That's interesting. I don't think it happens that often, but anyways. Lately, the Shiro are having a little bit of a stiffer action. Just a little bit of a nudge is needed to get this in the closed position. So I wouldn't say like drop shot. I would say like a glide shot after nudge. MRBS writing inscription internally done right over there. You have an inset lock which is micro milled. I don't know if you can appreciate that, but for sure you can appreciate the micro milling going on in this part of the lock bar. Super cool. And I mean, the sound this guy makes, And also coming back. Very dry. Maybe I need to lube it up a little bit. But for sure, the action is fast. Crispy detent. In the hand, oof, feels so good. Yeah, I failed. I mean, guys, this is a gentleman's knife. It's a big one. It's not like you would expect, as big as you would expect. Closed position, this resembles like F95, F3 Hattie kind of quantum kind of deal. But the blade, oof, elegant, slender, sleek. Bunch of blade in this relatively compact, I would say, package. Slim, light, but packing this much of a blade. Kind of stealth action going on this Astrum First Production Shiro. So there you have it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.